All right, so you've jumped into Ancestry, you've plugged in your parents, your grandparents, and you've built the first few branches of your family tree. But now you're kind of stuck, right? If you're ready to smash through those brick walls and really become a family history detective, then you are in exactly the right place. Oh man, it's a feeling every single one of us who does this research knows. The records are flowing, you're finding great stuff, and then, suddenly, nothing. The trail just goes cold. You've hit what we call a brick wall. But here's the thing. A brick wall isn't a dead end. Not at all. It's actually an invitation to start digging deeper with some more advanced tools. So here's our game plan for breaking down those walls. First, we're going to master the search engine, because there's stuff hiding in plain sight. Then, we'll look at uncovering stories and records you might not have even thought to check. We're even going to learn how to trace our families across borders. And finally, we'll tap into the incredible power of the Ancestry community. So, what is a brick wall, really? Well, it's just that point where the easy-to-find records, the usual census and birth certificates, they just seem to run out for a particular ancestor. And this is the exact moment your research shifts from just simple searching to some serious, fun detective work. Look, you've already laid a fantastic foundation. But to go back even further, we have to learn how to get around the common problems. You've got misspelled names, records that are missing, and ancestors who just never stayed in one place. Trust me, this is where the real adventure of genealogy begins. Okay, our first and maybe most important tool is the search engine itself. And believe me, most of us are only using a tiny fraction of its power. To really unlock what it can do, we have to start thinking like a detective. Be flexible, be strategic, and be ready to follow any clue, no matter how small. And this slide right here shows the difference perfectly. On the left, a beginner's search is really rigid. It's looking for exact matches. But look at the expert search on the right. It's flexible. It uses these things called wildcards, the little star for multiple letters, the question mark for just one, so it can find John Smith, even if you typed John Smith. It also broadens the date ranges and targets specific record collections to cast a much wider and smarter net. So here's the key. You want to build your search layer by layer. Don't throw everything in at once. Start broad, just a name and a place. If you get like 10,000 results, then you can narrow it with a flexible date range, like plus or minus 5 years. Still too many? Okay, now you target a specific collection, like just the 1920 US Census. This focused approach is so much more effective, I promise. Birth, marriage, and death records, they're like the skeleton of your family tree. They give it structure. But the real stories, the flesh and blood of your ancestors' lives, well, those are usually found in less obvious places. And that's where we bring them back to life. And here are just a few of the places those stories are hiding. City directories can tell you their exact address in between census years. A will can reveal family drama or forgotten children. And a ship's manifest, that little piece of paper might hold the key to the name of the tiny village they came from. Every single one of these records is a new piece of the puzzle. And this is exactly why we have to dig deeper. It's almost never one single magic document that solves a huge mystery. It's usually a whole bunch of small clues pieced together from all these different sources that finally lets you see the bigger picture. For so many of us, our family trees don't just stay in one country. They cross oceans, they cross borders. So to trace those incredible journeys, we need a special set of skills for doing international research, because names, places, even the spellings of things, they change along the way. The Soundex system is basically your secret weapon for this. It is a really clever algorithm that turns names into a code based on how they sound, not how they're spelled. So, a name like Schmidt from Germany could have been written as Smith or Smith by an English-speaking clerk, but Soundex doesn't care. It finds them all. It's absolutely crucial for tracking down our immigrant ancestors. When you're searching internationally, context is everything. You've got to search within country-specific collections. You should learn about local naming customs. Maybe they used patronymics, where the son's last name was based on the father's first name. And always, always check historical maps. The town your ancestor was from might have been in the Austrian Empire back then, but it could be in Poland today. A little bit of historical homework makes a huge difference. All right, now for what I think is one of the most exciting parts of doing research today. You are not alone in this, not even close. Genealogy is this massive collaborative effort. It's kind of like having a global team of research assistants who have already left clues all over the place for you to find. 100 million. Just let that number sink in for a second. That's how many public family trees other users, people just like you, have built on Ancestry. Think about what that means. Somewhere in that massive, interconnected web, a distant cousin you have never met may have already found the exact photo, or the document, or the story that you are desperately looking for.
Okay, but this is a really, really critical point. Public member trees are not verified facts. Think of them as clues. They are research notes from other people. You absolutely want to use them as a starting point, as a guide, but you always have to verify the information for yourself with original sources.
So, how do you use them wisely? Well, anytime you find a potential connection in another person's tree, the very first question you have to ask is, where's the source? If they have a record attached to that person, fantastic. Go find that same document and check it for yourself. If there's no source attached, treat it as an interesting clue, but definitely not as a fact. So there you have it. You now have a powerful new set of tools in your genealogy toolkit. With these techniques for advanced searching, for deep diving into records, for crossing borders, and for collaborating with this huge community, those brick walls really don't stand a chance. Every single unanswered question in your family tree is just an adventure waiting to happen. It's a puzzle that's just waiting for you specifically to solve it. So go on, pick that one ancestor you've been stuck on for ages, apply some of these new strategies, and just see what you can find. Your next great discovery is literally just a search away.